Welcome back to Living Local. It's one of the largest publications distributed across the Quad Cities area. QC Family Focus is a free monthly magazine that offers insight on topics, issues, and questions related to raising healthy, happy children. And joining me in studio is Mike Mickle with QC Family Focus, also our news director here at Local 4. Thanks so much for being here.
Hey, my pleasure. It's a warm day out there, isn't it?
It's nice and balmy. I tell you, you had to come into work either way. So,
on the way in, I think there were 3 of us on the road when I was driving in. It's like the town has been
pretty
shut
much,
down.
Yeah. Hey, not a bad day for it anyways.
Exactly.
Maybe a good day to curl up with a good magazine.
I like it.
You
it's
like that
online
shameless plug
too.
there?
Yeah,
Oh, there you go.
Thank you very much. We're making it easy.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about QC Family Focus. You've been on before, but kind of give us that 30,000-foot view. 15 years that we've been around now. Our youngest was a baby. He wasn't even a year old when we launched it. Now he is 16. Wow.
Recently 16. So our children have kind of grown up with this magazine, and Karen and I joke that it's sort of our fourth. After we had Matthew, we knew that we were done, and so to be able to create this magazine is kind of like having our fourth child, and it's just really all about trying to empower families. We all have questions when we're trying to raise children, and kind of creating this community so that people can ask questions and that we can all work together and realize that it's a very special journey, so let's all take it together.
Yeah, there you go. How's the magazine changed in all those years?
I would say that it probably is more representative of families just in general. When we first started, much of the content was just about younger families because we had younger kids, and then we started getting emails from people and saying, hey, do you have information on college scholarships and things like that? So we started to kind of broaden the age range that we were targeting. And now if you look at the publication, we start with those first 2,000 days, the kids that are, babies, and then we go all the way through senior living facilities. I mean, we have grandparents that are faithful readers.
Yeah, that's awesome. How to raise teenagers, I'm sure, is a hot topic as well.
At that point, if you haven't done your job, it's pretty much over, is what we found.
Yeah,
but
there you
they
go.
seem to be okay.
Yeah, it's market research.
Exactly.
All righty. Well, for January's issue, everyone needs something to warm them up here this month, especially today of all days. But you have an article by Dawn Leon, who we've had on the show as well. She wrote an article entitled "Warm Hugs," and I know there's kind of a backstory with this article, but tell us a little bit about it.
Well, first of all, Dawn is a phenomenal human being, and we're so fortunate to have her be part of the QC Family Focus family. But she had gone to Disney on Ice. We had provided her with a few tickets that we had through the magazine, and she was going with her family, and a couple of the family members couldn't go, her husband, one of the children. So in line, Dawn being Dawn, gives a couple of tickets to somebody that's waiting in line to take her child or grandchild.
Yeah.
And so as they make their way into their seats, they go up to the second level, and Dawn is terrified of heights.
Same.
And so she gets up there and she freezes.
Yeah.
And she thinks, I can't do this.
Yeah.
And so she had to excuse herself, and she was getting her youngest child up. In front of her is the woman that she just happened to give those free tickets to.
Yeah.
And this woman said, if your other children want to stay, I'll keep an eye on them for you.
Yeah.
So she thanks her, she gets outside. She's sitting down in the lobby kind of area and just feeling horrible that she's not with the rest of her children. And then one of the security workers comes by and asks her what's going on. She explains to him, he says, I'll be right back. He finds seats on the main level, on the lower level.
Wow.
They're able to go get the kids. They're able to bring them in. It was his kindness that brought the family back together. The kids are giving her those warm hugs because they're thrilled that mom's back in there. She got to experience it, and then she got to witness the kindness of a stranger because she did something nice. This woman was returning the favor.
Wow.
So that's the kind of stuff that I love to read.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like it'll warm your heart this month for sure.
Absolutely.
And you guys have lots of other stuff. What about the article Preparing to be a Dad?
I remember those days. And
it's just one article.
Oh no, there's a series.
Oh, okay.
There's a series.
Good.
It's actually the launch of a podcast.
Okay.
We now have the Journey from Dude to Dad. It's a podcast. It's a video blog. My kids will tell you, well, Kyle says in the first podcast, my dad can't remember being a dude. He's been a dad way too long, which is true. I mean, Kyle's 21 now.
Tell it like it is.
But I joke, but I'm kind of serious about it too. If you have ever witnessed childbirth, You come out of the gate as a dad feeling inadequate because you think, okay, I'm never going to be able to top this.
Yeah.
So we want dads to know that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to ask questions. And most importantly, you know, just don't sweat the small stuff, because I will tell you that the days are long, but the years go by quickly.
Yeah.
So we're all in it together.
That's cool. Is Preparing to be a Dad, is that a long standing series, or is this something
We started
new?
a little over a year ago, and to date we have 61,000 views total on the videos that we have on our video blog. And so obviously there are a lot of dads out there that have questions.
Lots of questions for sure. What about Security Made Easy?
Oh, Done Right. Our folks at Done Right. You know, in our business we're doing a lot of stories on the fact that there are crimes in our area.
Yeah.
And you know, during the holiday season too, we had people stealing packages off the front porches. And so we were looking for solutions, something to help families kind of feel like they were empowered. And we talked to the folks at Done Right, and they have just these elaborate systems that, you know, you can pick and choose what you want. But one of my favorites is the Nest, and it's a doorbell that has a camera in it.
Yeah.
And they were demonstrating it to me, and you could see obviously in front of your house, but across the street and 4 houses down, and catching people in the act.
Yeah.
And it can, you know, through Google Hub, it can come straight to you, you know, so you're notified when something's going on. I'm not nearly intelligent enough to explain exactly how it works, but they can, and they do a pretty good job in the article.
All right, perfect, perfect. Well, tell me a little bit about your Mickle's Worth. Is that a series?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Sounds interesting.
And my children are old enough now that they kind of wish it wasn't. Simply because it's all about them.
Yeah.
You know, last month, you know, we've always said that if we're going to do this, we're going to be raw and we're going to be real.
Yeah.
We're going to joke about the things we can joke about, and we're going to be honest about our feelings when it comes to parenting. And, you know, Kyle is our test pilot. He's 21, and he was recently accepted one of 6 for an internship in Goodyear, Arizona, working at the Goodyear ballpark.
Wow.
And he's working with the Cleveland Indians and the Cincinnati Reds. But it's a 3-month internship.
Yeah.
And he obviously is in Goodyear, Arizona.
Yeah.
And so Dad's chest began to get a little tight. It's like, wait a minute, I've never been away from this child for 3 months his entire life. I don't want to start now. So it was all about saying goodbye to him, but watching him leave the nest in such an incredible way, and starting that journey to achieving his dreams. And that's kind of indicative. This month, it's the, wow, we just had a 2-hour FaceTime conversation with him last week, and there was never a dull moment in it. I mean, he's so excited with what he's getting to experience, and the new friends that he's made, and, you know, even more devoted to his major, sports management, and wanting to do this kind of stuff. And so you kind of sit back and go, all right, I just need to shut up and let him go do what he needs to do. And so, you know, we're 1/3 of the way through, and we've got, you know, I think it's 58 days before I go pick him up, but I'm not counting.
Hey,
anything.
no, you're not at all. Of course not. Well, in the article, you mentioned that something your brother once said: don't dwell on the goodbye, be thankful you got to say hello. It's great advice, probably easier said than done, but what have you found that's helpful dealing with?
Well, you know, I moved up here, let's just say many decades, several decades ago, since God was a boy. But it was very difficult for me to leave my family back in Oklahoma, because I had, you know, I'd always been with them, but I knew that I wanted to pursue a career in broadcasting, and I had this opportunity, and I thought, you know, I can come to the Quad Cities, I can work in television, and maybe I'll lose my Southern accent. You know, Tom Brokaw had Iowa ties. Maybe that'll work for me. And every time I would go home, and you know, as my mom was getting on up there in years and stuff, it was always difficult to just pack up the car, especially before we had kids, and come back. And that's when my brother said that to me. You know, just be thankful that you got to be here, that we all got to spend this time together. Now go back where you're supposed to be, and don't dwell on the goodbye, because there'll be another hello.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being here, Mike. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sounds like an issue packed with a lot of stuff to warm you up here this cold season.
Keeping us busy, for sure.
There you go. For sure. Awesome. Well, February issue will also be out here soon. And for more information, you can visit qcfamilyfocus.com. We'll have more details posted on our website, ourquadcities.com as well.